Hey guys, it is MissSimReno. If you are returning to the channel, welcome back. And if you're brand new, I am very excited that you decided to join me here today for another apartment renovation. And we are at 131021 Chic Street in Myshuno. And we are building an apartment for a young mom and her baby. That was my thought. Actually, this idea originated from wanting to do a 100 baby challenge apartment, and definitely not in this unit. This would be nearly impossible, but I was in one of the huge units in the city and I was trying to come up with a floor plan and trying to come up with a color scheme. And I came up with this color scheme that I ended up going for, but I just really wasn't liking the layout that I was going for at all. I couldn't think of anything else. I kind of got frustrated. I went into a smaller unit and I decided to carry this same color scheme through and decided to just do it for a young mom and her baby instead. So that is what we're doing. And you can see here that the floor plan is already together. I am just laying things out, which is actually something I don't do very often as like the first thing. I'll do like a floor plan, but I won't actually put down pieces of furniture in almost every room just to see the layout, if that makes any sense. I usually focus on one room, completely clutter it and decorate it, and then I move on to something else. But here I was like, okay, I need to lay this out because I want to make sure this works for what I'm thinking. So I have the dining room right near this really big tall window, which I think is really nice, and it's open to the living space, which is a little bit more tucked away and cozy in the corner. I usually like having a window in living spaces, but I knew that was going to be an issue with this apartment. But I ended up putting the kitchen also right by the front door. I was originally thinking of using half walls to kind of make it open to the living space, but I've done that a ton of times before, and this time I just wasn't feeling it. I just wanted it to be closed off because I wanted more counter space, I wanted more overhead cabinets, and I don't know, for some reason it felt realistic that it was like cut off like that. I don't know why. That could just be me talking out of my butt. I really have no idea. But I did really like it. I loved using these really soft pastel tones, like the pinks and the purples specifically. It's not really a combination of color that I enjoy personally, but I was able to find so many items that really worked with this, like these chairs from the My Wedding Stories game pack, the adorable little armchair that doesn't actually really have arms from the Pastel Pop Kit, and then the Country Kitchen Kit fridge in this really soft purple hue, which I didn't even know that we had, as well as the stove that matches. So like all in all, it actually came together a lot more, not coherently or consistently. Is consistently the word I'm looking for? Cohesively, that's the word I'm looking for. It came together much more cohesively than I was anticipating. Now, I knew that making this apartment unit, specifically a 2-bedroom apartment, which I've done a lot of times before, I think. I always know it's a struggle though, especially for the primary bedroom, because you're pretty much gonna have to put a double bed up against the wall. Now, since I was envisioning a single mom living here and just have the baby having their own nursery, I was comfortable putting the bed up against the wall. And of course there is the scoot feature, which has been working for me beautifully, mind you, like literally beautifully. So I didn't have a problem with it, but I know that for some folks it could kind of be an issue, especially if you were to have 2 Sims in this apartment. So definitely keep that in mind. But we are working on the bathroom really quickly, which I did clutter up more than I typically would with a bathroom or for a bathroom, because we have the bathroom clutter kit. So I did use a fair amount of objects from that new kit. If you don't have it, it's really not that big of a deal. I mean, yes, some of these clutter items will not be here, but there are some alternatives from other packs or even the debug menu to kind of satisfy some of these items. So I wouldn't worry about it too much. But one thing that I did do is I put light switches in every single room, which is something that I'm probably going to inconsistently do from now on, because we did get light switches with the bathroom clutter kit, which I just think it's kind of funny that that's when we got light switches that don't function, just FYI. They're just decorative, but I'm probably going to inconsistently apply those and use those in different builds now, because I might put them in like a living space and then I'll completely forget by the time I get to the other room. So just don't be surprised. But in this apartment, I did use them consistently, which was kind of shocking to me. But I quickly decorated the bathroom and then tried to just sort out a few decorations for mom's room, which was very minimally decorated because there wasn't a lot of space at all. And I wanted the baby to have the bigger room because I'm thinking about them becoming a toddler and like all the toddler activities, and then a child and all the kid activities. I just wanted to make sure that the child had, well, actually, it's really not that much bigger of a bathroom, or a bathroom. What am I talking about? It's really not that much bigger of a room, is it? It's pretty much the same size as mom's room. Yeah, it's kind of the same size. It's just that the bassinet's smaller, right? Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm just making things up at this point. But I really liked the baby's room as well. I usually make kids' rooms, nurseries, things like that a lot more decorated than the primary bedroom anyway. So I really enjoyed laying things out here. And I loved using this wallpaper from Base Game with kind of like the purple and pink tones with the grass and the butterflies. I thought it was really cute. And even though my first choice wasn't to actually use this bassinet from the Werewolves game pack, I wanted to use the one from Base Game, but I forgot that I have a bassinet override in my game right now, custom content. So I didn't want to do that and have you guys think that I was using custom content for this build, because I'm not. But yeah, I would have used the Base Game bassinet actually instead of this one. But at the same time, I kind of liked this one in here because maybe it was kind of like, maybe it was thrifted, maybe it was a hand-me-down of some kind, because it looks a little bit more worn, and I'm going to go with worn instead of, you know, scratched up from werewolves, because that's, I think, really what the detail is supposed to signify. But anyway, the nursery is pretty much coming together, and it is almost the last room that we redecorate, though we do go back into the kitchen and kind of clutter things up, as well as the living space. And I did struggle with some wall decorations here because it was just this big open wall with nothing on it, and it kind of drove me a little bit nuts. That's why I tried to fill some spaces with like taller stuffed animals and lights and things like that to just make it look a little bit more decorated than it actually was. But I think the wallpaper helped with that too. Because of the decorations on the wallpaper, it looks as though there's a lot more going on than there actually is. And I loved sizing up this painting as well from Cottage Living. It's like the little tea party. I thought it was really cute. I also added these candles that aren't real candles from the bathroom clutter kit to Mom's room and the living room, as well as the nursery. And here we are decorating the living space as well with more pink and purple accents. It's a very cutesy apartment in my opinion, though not as cluttered, still not as cluttered as some of my other apartments or builds, because I wanted to kind of keep this a little bit more simplistic, especially because it's just like the baby is just a baby. So there isn't like a toddler or a child like completely leaving clutter everywhere or mess. And therefore I thought that Mom was able to keep things fairly tidy for right now. But here we are working on the kitchen again, kind of bringing through the same color scheme. We have a lot of cutesy little objects, but I wanted to add some personalized kitchen clutter because kitchens are usually pretty cluttery. I know that mine typically is, and usually in like this corner countertop, to be fair. I see I'm carrying that through to my builds. But that's pretty much it for this apartment renovation. I hope you all enjoyed this one. Thanks for bearing with me through this voiceover. I just shoveled my walkway, so I think I'm out of breath and a little bit tired. But I hope you all enjoyed it. Can't wait to hear your thoughts, and I will talk to you next time I post a video. Bye!
Open air, side by side we sway there in all the colors. Summer love, lonesome dove, folded on the lawn chair in all the colors. Summer love. Remember when we were getting nowhere fast, when the garden won't stop giving